just joined us on the System After Dark, this is a homegrown number courtesy of E3 and Cracker. Bulla, how's it going? I'm D, your host on the System After Dark, right here on Today FM. Today's hit music. You can catch me weeknights at 7 p.m. That's from Monday to Friday, only on the home of Today's hit music. And don't forget, that's D with you every weeknight on the System After Dark.
Good evening, this is FBC News. I'm Amrita Priyadarshini. In tonight's bulletin, elderly woman dies in house fire in Lambasa. Police investigate accident involving diplomat that claimed a life. And Attorney General warns customs officers and businesses about corrupt practices. A 62-year-old woman died when she ran back into a house which was on fire and got trapped inside. The incident occurred at Namara in Lambasa this afternoon. Eyewitnesses say the fire started in a house belonging to the deceased woman's son. Police spokesperson Inspector Atunai Sokomori confirmed the woman's death. The fire spread to a neighbor's home and destroyed it as well.
He took his car out and his mother go inside again. And she never came there. And after that the fire brigade came and this house was really half burned. And fire brigade came to stop to Guru Nam's house, but can't stop.
12 people were living in the two houses. The National Fire Authority is expected to comment on the incident later. Police Commissioner Major General Ben Hunewald has confirmed a diplomat at the South African High Commission was involved in an accident that claimed the life of a young man in Suva on Friday night. 26-year-old Ashnil Singh died in the accident. Ritika Pratap has more.
Debris from the accident remains scattered on the side of the busy Edinburgh Drive. Police are investigating the accident that claimed the life of Ashnil Singh of Nasinu. Initial reports indicate a vehicle driven by a diplomat hit a vehicle that was being driven by Singh. Police Commissioner Major General Ben Hunewald says an alcohol test was conducted on the 59-year-old diplomat at Totongo police station. Hunewald informed the Director of Traffic and the investigation officer about the diplomat's privileges and immunity. The diplomat was then taken to hospital for the necessary prescribed medical checks and released. Hunewald has clarified that the diplomat is entitled to diplomatic immunity under the terms of the Vienna Convention 1961. Article 29 of the 8th schedule states that a person of a diplomatic agent shall be inviolable and not be liable to any form of arrest or detention. Hunewald says the investigation will continue and the immunity for the jurisdiction will be dealt with in terms of the articles of the Vienna Convention. Hunewald has also confirmed that the same diplomat was assaulted outside the South African High Commission about a fortnight ago. The diplomat was returning from dinner when he was assaulted by 3 unknown people outside the High Commission on Kimberley Street. The attack, which left the diplomat with serious facial injuries, is still being investigated. Ritika Pratap, FBC News.
The government has sent out a stern warning to all businesses and customs officers to stop stealing from taxpayers. The Finance Ministry has lodged a complaint with the Fiji Independent Commission Against Corruption, or FICAC, about some operational aspects of the Fiji Revenue and Customs Authority. Finance Minister Ayaz Sayed Qayyum says FICAC sent an investigation team to FIRCA on Friday afternoon and seized some documents and computers. Sayed Qayyum says they were given access to an email that was sent out by the General Manager of the Customs Division on the 30th of last month. The email read that effective from that date, no customs staff is to allow any ethical standard unit staff into the customs area or disclose any information to them without consent of customs executive. Any staff in breach of this instruction will be dealt with accordingly.
Do not steal from the Fijian people. If you're a businessman or a woman, if you're importing goods into Fiji, you declare the right amount, state the right tariff code, pay the right amount of money, make your profits, but do it legally. don't give bribes to customs officers. To customs officers, do not take bribes.
Syed Qayyum says the investigation may be able to uncover other agencies and networks that are involved in these discrepancies. The finance minister will meet with the FIRCA board about the email tomorrow. Fiji's High Commissioner to Papua New Guinea, Esala Teleni, has been advised of a new PNG government policy not to employ foreign consultants and advisors in government ministries and departments. However, Teleni says there has been no word about whether Fijians will be affected by this decision. Savaira Tambua has the details.
As of January next year, the PNG government will not employ any foreigners in its departments. Fiji's High Commissioner to PNG, Esala Teleni, says Fijians are expected to continue with the jobs they are doing in the technical and engineering fields.
Some weeks ago, they were looking to Fiji for retired teachers to come over to Papua New Guinea. So those are some of the areas that I foresee that they will continue to promote or to facilitate in specific areas. School teachers, maybe they will be looking at. We have a few people from Fiji who are holding, good position in some technical areas like Port Authority.
PNG's Prime Minister Peter O'Neill announced in June a ban on all foreign advisors working for his government, saying they make local staff lazy and they could be spying.
Talking to them, I don't see them being affected. It seems that everything is going well for them, and they're all looking forward to continue. But yes, there are quite a number of our people working in Papua New Guinea, even business areas, technical areas, and even security. But none has come up to the embassy to raise concerns.
In the news ahead, authorities urge owners and operators to register boats and ships.
Gold FM, only the classic hits. Beautiful song from the group Firehouse and When I Look Into Your Eyes. Before that, you heard from Smokey Robinson with One Heartbeat. We'll take a short break and join us in the next hour for more music from Seal. Bulablaga. I'm DJ Tora. Join me every weekdays, 7 until midnight on the Premium Classics. Right here on Gold FM, only the classic hits.
Welcome back here with FBC News. Now, any vessel or boat that is not registered with the Maritime Safety Authority of Fiji will be issued with an infringement notice. Under new maritime laws, all vessels and boats using Fiji waters have to abide by the rules and regulations under the Marine Transport Decree. Savaira Tambua has more details.
About 95% of incidents at sea involve boats that are not registered, and the Maritime Safety Authority of Fiji wants this changed with the introduction of new laws that will ensure the safety of passengers.
In the legislation, there's a time frame there for local ship owners and operators to comply, for holding tanks, for oily water separators, and also for certain tonnage, and for waste reception facility to be put in place. There are certain time that has been given, but we are encouraging ship owners, operators, and port operators to put this place before that 3-year period or whatever time is given to them.
The acting chief executive of Maritime Safety Authority of Fiji, John Tunindau, is encouraging operators and owners of boats and ships to register as the new laws are now in place. Tunindau says new laws also cover international vessels entering Fiji waters.
If there's bunker operation out at sea in Fiji waters and there's a spill, it should be insured, so that the government has the resources to get from the ship owner to make sure that that spill can be contained and actually dealt with.
MSAF will issue a service certificate once the vessels and boats are registered. Staff are also being trained to ensure they enforce and monitor the new laws. Sabira Tambua, FBC News.
One of the biggest tasks for the Employment Ministry is to reduce unemployment, which currently stands at around 7%. Minister for Employment Chiochi Konrote says 45,000 people have registered with the National Employment Centre seeking some sort of employment. Conrote says the building sector is booming, however, there is a lack of skilled people. He says the opening up of the recognised seasonal workers scheme by Australia and New Zealand has given some ease, but more needs to be done.
Similarly, when the Prime Minister came back from Canada not too long ago, I have been tasked as the Minister to look at the possibility of sending people to Canada.
Conrote says the government has started issuing grants to small and medium entrepreneurs so that they can expand and employ more people. Residents of a settlement in Tavua and another in Ba are thankful to the government because they now have access to proper water supplies. The Ministry for Women, Children and Poverty Alleviation provided new water tanks, which were commissioned by the Minister Rosie Akbar. Ritika Pratap reports.
16 families of Kandavu settlement in Tava were without adequate and clean water until yesterday when a new tank was commissioned.
Last time I came here, I was told that women have to go down to the river for the washing and drinking. Hopefully, with the storage facility, you will be able to store clean drinking water.
Minister for Women Rosie Akbar also commissioned a water tank in Tavaraumba, which will benefit more than 365 families.
I would expect people to walk in a communal manner. Yeah, this does not belong to one person. It may be housed in a place which belongs to maybe somebody, but we expect goodwill, to prevail so that the clean water is distributed to all the households.
Residents of both communities have welcomed the assistance.
It's more than 20 years since we are having water problems. Now with the new water tanks provided to us by the government, it will assist us greatly.
I'm thankful of the government for providing us water tanks, and that's why we have chosen this government. We know that it will address our problems.
The minister also informed residents that their settlements have been included in the government's water projects for next year. Ritika Pratap, FBC News.
Growing up in a simple lifestyle in Suva and Australia, Fiji's fly half never dreamt that he will don the Flying Fijians jersey one day. Well, in our successful Fijian segment tonight, we meet Ben Volavola, the fleet-footed playmaker who made his debut for Fiji in July this year. Akasita Tale with more.
Successful Fijians is brought to you by the Fiji Development Bank, your partner in progress.
Volavola takes it on. Volavola! He got it! Ben Volavola scores Fiji's first try.
From barefoot games on the streets of Suva to becoming a Sydney schoolboy star, a New South Wales Waratah, and now a Flying Fijian in the World Cup. Ben Volavola has defied all odds to wear the kicking boot for the Flying Fijians. Born in Australia but growing up in Suva with his family, Ben had a passion for rugby from the age of 2, kicking balls around his home.
I'm half Fijian, half Indian. My mom's Fijian, she's from Thailand, Nabitu, and my dad's Indian from Ba. I was born in Sydney, Australia, and then Mum and I moved down here. Lived with Dad, and I was here till I was about 8, 9 years old.
Volavola started his semi-professional rugby career at the Sydney Premiership competition, starting with West Harbour Rugby Union, playing with current prop Kempisi Ma'afu. He then returned to his local club Southern Districts Rugby before he was selected to join the New South Wales Waratahs in 2012.
Being in a Waratah squad, a part of a Waratah squad that won the Super 15 title last year, and that was a massive highlight in my career, although unfortunately I didn't get any time within that great team. It was just such a special time in my life being in such a great squad.
Volavola, who is 6 feet 3 inches tall and weighs 96 kg, loves listening to R&B, hip-hop and old school, with Michael Jackson and Chris Brown his favorite singers. Volavola describes his rugby career as his dream job, as he grew up dreaming of playing for the Wallabies, playing alongside Tevita Kurindrani in the Australian under-20s in 2011. However, he has traded his Wallabies dream to take the reins of a flamboyant Fiji backline wearing the number 10 jersey at the Rugby World Cup.
For my position, you've got to be a leader, and although being a rookie and being new to within this team, I'm trying to build myself within sort of a leadership title with once we head onto the park and guide the boys around. So I'm hoping to do that for the team, and as long as I can do that, I'm sure the team will have great success.
He has played all 3 matches so far against all 3 of the biggest teams in Fiji's group, England, Australia and Wales. Volavola is the grandson of former Suva Mayor Penny Volavola and says family has been his biggest motivation.
Giving that last name a good name, and because it's my grandfather's name, and making him proud is a massive sort of goal for me, and seeing that I am doing that at the moment for him is very motivational.
Despite a very tough season with the Waratahs this year, the rising star has also carved another achievement in his rugby career. Volavola has signed for the Crusaders Super Rugby 2016 season to replace All Black sensation Dan Carter. Describing himself as a mummy's boy, he hopes to be remembered as a humble and free-spirited person. His advice to future rugby players is that anything is possible.
I was once a kid in Suva, just living a normal childhood, and same thing happening in Sydney also, just had a normal childhood in Sydney, and as long as you have a goal and your dreams in front of you.
The 24-year-old started at number 10 for Fiji against Tonga in the 2015 World Rugby Pacific Nations Cup, scoring 15 points. As Fiji prepares for its final World Cup clash against Uruguay in the Rugby World Cup, Volavola's journey to become a world-class player has only just begun. Ako si Tatale, FBC News.
Successful Fijians is brought to you by the Fiji Development Bank, your partner in progress.
Coming up in sports, England bundled out of the World Cup. And Flying Fijians coach has nothing but praise for his players. All that and more after the break.
छू 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 हे नमस्ते फीजी, आपके हर एक प्रॉब्लम की दवा लेकर मैं आ गई हूँ 9 से 12 बजे तक आपकी सहेली रेनू। छू 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 40 में 20 का दिखना है। मैं हूँ ना आपके साथ में मिर्ची एफएम पर 9 से 12 बजे तक मंडे टू फ्राइडे। मिर्ची, इट्स हॉट।
Welcome to FBC Sports. England have become the first host nation to be eliminated in the pool stages of the Rugby World Cup after losing to Australia 33-13 this morning. Fly half Bernard Foley contributed 28 points to see Australia and Wales survive the pool of death and progress to the quarterfinals.
The reports and updates of the Rugby World Cup is proudly presented by Vodafone, Power to You, and Airports Fiji Limited, creating new experiences, Fiji's gateway to the world. In association with FMF, the right choice. Total Exilium New Generation, the fuel that cleans your engine kilometer after kilometer. Sun Insurance, for Fijians, by Fijians. Supported by Fiji Airways, Deluxe, Island Chill, Comfort Home Furnishing, Rooster Chicken, Legal Aid, Land Transport Authority, and Central Rentals.
Against Australia, but this is an excellent start for the Wallabies. If it goes over, which it does. Douglas, Foley switching the point of attack. That's interesting. Bill back to Foley. It's more than interesting. He finds Foley. Foley to Adam Ashley Cooper. He's got Matt Gitto outside. Gives it to Gitto. And Gitto to round it off.
Japan kept their quarterfinal hopes alive after a 26-5 victory over Samoa. The win sees the Cherry Blossoms remain in third spot in Pool B behind South Africa and Scotland.
Seven minutes gone, and Japan stopped just short, but here they go again. Turangi steps out, but it's stopped by Akihito Yamada. Obama scored 24 points.
South Africa comfortably held off Scotland to win 34-16 and move in the top of Pool B.
They're calling for the trial.
Scotland hold on.
Priya. Here we go. Intercept. Here we go. It's Weir. It's Scott. Duncan Weir. Scotland. Yes. Tommy Seymour. 5 to go. Pagana.
The Vodafone flying Fijians find themselves in a predicament, having suffered 3 successive losses. Coach John McKee believes his players can still hold their heads up high as they prepare for the final pool match against Uruguay. Chalendo Zakavaka reports.
The flashes of brilliance displayed by Fiji against Wales have been the telling point of the team's World Cup campaign, with the side now out of contention for the quarterfinals as well as an automatic spot to the 2019 World Cup. The team had a moment of reflection on what could have been.
Very frustrating to be at this point that with no points on the table. You know, we knew when we came here what a difficult pool we were coming into, but we had high expectations. You know, a good, talented group of players, and we worked really hard to get to where we are.
McKee expressed his pride with how the players competed with the 3 superpowers, England, Australia and Wales, in a span of 13 days.
And it's just absolute credit to this squad, and the players we've got, and all the support team and the coaching staff, how we've really stood up to those teams and how we've been so competitive in the first 3 matches.
Fiji meets Uruguay on Wednesday in a battle for 4th spot in Pool A, and McKee has stressed to his players to once again showcase to the world the true Fijian brand of rugby. Talendo Dakavaka, FBC Sports.
Turning to local rugby, and the Nandronga rugby side will polish up on its discipline ahead of the second last HFC Bank Fairbrother Trophy Challenge match against Namosi next week. The Stallions were flashed a red card and 3 yellow cards for various infringements during the match against Northland yesterday, but did enough to earn a 47-15 victory.
This is something we need to polish up, especially a team Namosi, who were finalists in the Skipper Cup. They're a very good team. With them, we don't need to give silly penalties like we gave away today.
Nandronga will defend the Fairbrother Trophy against Namosi next weekend. Well, the Bar football side got off to a grand start in the court's Inter-District Championship, beating Nandronga 2-0 in Nandi. Josefata Nembuli opened the scoring for the men in black before veteran defender Malakai Tiwa added another goal before half-time to seal the win. In the other match today, Nandi and Lautoka played to a 1-1 draw. The competition resumes on Wednesday at Govind Park in Bar. Fine apart from brief showers were experienced over the southern, eastern and the interior parts of the larger islands today. A weak trough of low pressure lies just to the southwest of Fiji. Another trough lies over Nauru and extends over to Kiribati and to the northern Cooks. Onto temperatures, in Suva and Sava recorded 26 degrees, Nadi 30, Bar 28 degrees and Lambasa 31 degrees. Now the forecast for tomorrow, fine apart from brief showers are expected. And the further outlook, you can expect much of the same. On to our main points again. A 62-year-old woman of Lambasa died when she ran back into a house which was on fire and got trapped inside. Police Commissioner Major General Ben Hunewald has confirmed a diplomat at the South African High Commission was involved in an accident that claimed the life of a young man in Suva on Friday night. And the government has sent out a stern warning to all businesses and customs officers to stop stealing from taxpayers. On to the poll question. This week we ask, are there enough litter bins in public places? You can visit our FBC website to take part. You can also send us newsworthy pictures and videos on email citizenseyes@fbc.com.fj or share it with us via our Facebook page FBC News. And if you're on Twitter, follow and tweet us your news tips at FBC News or simply hashtag FBC News. You've been watching FBC News. I'm Amrita Priyadarshini. Good night.